Number 10, NC State at number 5, Clemson. Clemson last week barely coming away with that overtime win against Wake Forest. NC State won this game last year, but we are seeing a different Clemson team than we did last season. Clemson favored by 6.5. Brady, the total here is 42. What's your play?
I'm laying the points. Look, Death Valley, tough place to go in and win a football game. That's part of it. I don't know that NC State's really been tested. We saw Clemson a week ago. They were tested, and guess what? DJ Uiagalelei puts out his best performance of the season. We knew they like to base things off Will Shipley, but it was DJU who really stepped up, in my opinion. We know how stingy both these defenses are. So this is a game that, I mean, look, bottom line, I think the number's a little low at 42, so I think it hits the over. But I'm laying the 6.5 points. I think Clemson found something. I think DJU found some confidence with how he played in crucial moments versus Wake last week. So I'll lay the 6.5. I think Devin Leary's going to have a tough time versus Clemson defense.
I agree with everything you said. I look at that performance for DJ against Wake Forest, which is a good team.
Yeah.
In a game where you had to go possession for possession and you had to get touchdowns, you get at 2-point conversions, like a lot of high-pressure situations, or you lose, and he stepped up every single time. I also think the defense, that was probably the most surprising thing to me was how Sam Hartman played well against Clemson's defense with that slow riding. But it was a scheme that actually worked way better than I thought it would, because they did that little ride, and then the last second, Sam Hartman would take it out, he'd get killed, and he'd make a great throw. NC State doesn't run that offense.
Well, by the way, a year ago, that didn't work versus Wake.
Right.
They weren't effective at all with that slow RPO.
Right.
It was this
and they worked it. I think Clemson's defense will have their ears pinned back against a more traditional style of system. And as concerned as I am about Clemson's secondary, because they were getting torched too, I still think they'll have a better time shutting down this NC State offense. I'm curious to know from you, because I definitely had a game, specific game. It was against our rival. My first year starting, it was kind of a little bit of a roller coaster, right? Up and down. You know, the crowd was like, is this our guy? You know, I had to fill in for Charlie Ward. And we came back against Florida 31-3. And from that moment on, I looked at myself differently. Everyone looked different at me. I was like, this is my team now. I think that was that game for DJ. And that, you know, because when he came in against Notre Dame, that was like, you're the backup. It's pretty, you know, it's not a lot of pressure on you. You can go back to Trevor Lawrence. With all the criticism that he's taken and the heat and the questioning, I think even in that locker room, there are probably some guys like, I don't know if he's the guy. I think he proved it to everybody, and I think you're going to see a different version of DJ Uiagalelei from here forward.
He's not looking over his shoulder anymore, like Klubnik, and I think that was a conversation coming into the season, but he proved it. And to me, too, he added about 50 yards on the ground rushing. That was what I wanted to see from him. I mean, he's a big athletic guy, and for whatever reason, either he was just trying to, you know, keep his eyes downfield and play within the system and didn't want to take off and utilize that athleticism, but he showcased that. And with Will Shipley able to run like that and DJU on top of what they can do in the perimeter throwing the football, it's a dangerous combination. So I know Will Brinson's going to be really upset with this pick. Yeah. He's a big NC State alum.
He'll let us hear about it if we're not right.
He will. He'll be the first person to text us and let us know. I don't think we're getting that text this weekend.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.